What's happening, everybody? How you doing? So we're starting a vlog to document everything that we're doing with Fakie, but for the first one we wanted to give you a brief history on everything that we've done up to this point.
Aye, and so if you've never seen us before, my name's Paul.
And I'm Mark.
And we both run Fakie SB, Glasgow grassroots skater run skateboard company. The tagline could be mega, but
literally. And we're also brothers as well, if you've not realised or noticed. Some people actually, first offhand, say yous look pretty like similar and talk similar. Yeah. But then other people are just like, we never have a clue, man.
So. It's like Vinny, like the first time we met Vinny, one of the boys that was on the team. I mean, sitting down with him and he was just like, so, you've been pals for quite a while then, aye, and then I think I was like, aye, since he was born, man, aye, we've known each other quite a long time now. But yeah, so pretty much we're going to try and we'll run through different wee bits and pieces and that we've been up to up until now, so probably the best one to start is at the very beginning, even just when you're in college.
When it all started, definitely, man. So pretty much started college, and then studying a good few things within a few years. In that time frame, I was just skating a lot. It was even because of Paul as well. I started skating, just all the trips that we used to hang about with and stuff like that. So that proper gave me mad influence, and just skating was a mad passion. So it was one of those ones where, because I was doing graphic design and things like that, it got to the point where I was just I wanted to kind of start a brand, a kind of small business and things. So done screen printing, studied that, and then worked on designs, worked on the website, and just kind of printed the first t-shirts and started just kind of pushing stuff out, to be fair, which was good. It was class. It took a good amount of time, and it was just same as any kind of business, always your pals at first, just being oh, buy our t-shirts and this and that, and which is class though, because again, at least you know you've got good pals. And then things started kind of growing a wee bit for there, and then after that it was pretty much while I was kind of in college, you were doing a bunch of other stuff, weren't you?
Aye. So while Mark was doing that, I was kind of I was playing in bands and being in different jobs and just trying out all sorts of different stuff. But I think I got so scunnered with just the normal kind of office job and stuff like that. It just didn't really suit us, to be honest. And then that's when me and Mark got to chatting, just being yeah, mate, what if we just put everything that we know together and then just try and double down, man? Because especially in a business, we've met a few businesses before, and they always say it's a lonely world being an entrepreneur, because the business ends up being your whole life. So having the two years there, just two brains to work on everything, and it's more fun that way as well. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. I think it's one of those ones as well, because I was doing a few things different ways. So let's say I was doing graphic designs and stuff like that, but then you were doing accountancy and all things like that. So
and that kind of stuff.
Everything that we were both learning throughout the years just went hand in hand, and everything that I didn't know you knew, and vice versa, kind of thing. So it actually turned out really well.
But so we'd done a couple of wee bits that would be kind of event, was it Cookie was probably one of the first, sir?
Aye, Cookie was the main first one, and that was actually pretty decent for what it was. It was a proper mad one, but I remember it was absolutely pissing it down that day, and it was just on and off. And it
was weird because it looked alright for a minute, and then rain out and everywhere. But we might even have some photos, maybe some clips of that day. But we're going to try and do that throughout the edit. We'll overlay clips and different bits and pieces from all the stuff that we're talking about, essentially. Yeah. But that one was really good, because I think it was the other week I was looking back at that folder with all the foot content essentially for that day, and see some of the faces that were in the photos. Some of the people that are there, I can't remember them being there because I didn't know them at that point until we done loads more stuff and you bump into different skaters and that. Because I think we actually put up one of the photos from that day up in the stories, and one of the boys, can't remember his name now. One of the boys commented it saying, "Oh, that's me in the red hoodie and all the rest of that," but you couldn't tell because they were so much younger and like again short hair, no beard and all this kind of stuff. So then they didn't even realise who was who at the time. But it's mad looking back right enough and you see
so
who's there and where they're at now kind of thing. But Shug was the MC for that actually.
Aye, cocky, aye, 100%, aye. It was funny because that's a mad one. Even seeing Shug in a bit of his younger days, like just like fresh at the back, man.
Fresh at the back,
bucket hat and everything. It was weird, but
yeah, we pulled that bucket hat after.
100%, man. It was funny, but because like we had like the big speaker with Shug on the mic. I don't know, I can't remember if that was the first kind of event at AMC'd or whatever, but
who knows, man, it's fell apart.
Honestly, man, it was so funny. But like what I was saying, even with the rain and stuff like that, and we're having to like cover the amp and like the big speaker and all that, and try to make sure nothing get up. Or
one of the things actually that annoyed us for that is, you know, we'd made a big banner essentially, full graphic and that, and it was like we never had much money at the time at all, and we sunk that into the banner in it, and then we zip tied it to the fence so then it didn't blow away and all the rest of it. And then I think at the end of the event we never had scissors or something to cut it halfway.
I remember sitting there with like a lighter and keys and all that,
trying to chop away. But then so we were just like, F it, we'll come back and get it tomorrow. And then
it was that night.
Was it that night? Aye.
Because we got one of our pals to drive us down to go get it.
Aye.
And it wasn't there anymore.
Gone.
That was ridiculous. And then I remember, I think it was like maybe a couple of weeks later, we went back to skate cucky kind of thing. And there was a wee guy there, and he was just like, "Oh, you're the Fakie boys, and I think he's done that event, blah blah blah." And we were just like, "Aye." And then he was just like, "Oh, my pal's got your banner in his house." And we were like, "What?"
Straight to your face.
Literally. And then I was just like, "Oh, what, I geese it then?" And he was just like, "I'll give you it for a score." I was just like, "You have no laugh." I was just like, "I'm buying my own banner off you."
So if you're seeing that the new, seeing this the new,
aye, give the banner back.
But a different game now. If
man, literally, man.
I'm not chill about it.
Just couldn't be bothered with the hassle. Like, oh, whatever, man.
Just the funniest bit is that was like how many years ago now? Just maybe 10 years.
At least 10 years.
At least 10 years. So then that's 10 years ago. We have never bought another banner since because we're just like, get that down. It's just bad luck in my head now, but this year should probably be the year actually. We should
get one and actually sink it in again, man. We'll just put padlocks in the
aye, just have a security guy just sat next to it just for the banner. But so that was cocky, and then we'd worked on like t-shirts and stuff like that, and then we got the office at Charing Cross show.
Yeah, aye, because we had actually a good wee product line in, to be honest. Pretty sure at that point we had like the t-shirts, crew necks, hoodies, things like that. It was all kind of building up, so we were kind of doing it in stages, starting off with like obviously your basics, and then just each time just try to kind of get something different in and then build the actual product base, you know what I mean?
I was going to say the main thing for the office was to try and, because again we were younger back then and we just looked like two young boys, so then people don't always take you seriously kind of thing, especially other businesses that you try to work with or try to like just learn, I guess. So having the office to have meetings in was mental. Again, before that you were doing meetings in like Grand's house and that.
Literally we ended up, there was a guy that I bumped into and he had like a billboard company. And he sent one of his reps out for like a kind of chat, because I was just like, well, definitely. I knew for a fact they didn't have the money to do it, right? But I was just
good
like,
practice,
I was just like, man, may as well just shoot the shot and see what they're saying, because they might come back and be like, just a couple of quid for you, whatever. And then got to the point that the rep came up, and it was in my grand's house, and there was a fair few years living in there at the point, and I was just like, right, I'm going to be in the kitchen having a meeting, so nobody come in. If you're talking, be quiet, like just like, and again, I think I was like 17, 18 at the time.
I think so,
and then this dude rocks up to the house, full suited and booted, and I'm just standing there, a wee guy being like, "All right, mate, how you doing?" blah blah, I'm not Fakie SB and that, and then we literally just sat in the kitchen just chatting. The guy must have been like, what is going on here, man?
Oh, heavy.
Like, purely, he must have probably thought he was getting punked or something.
Yeah.
Just like that, like, what is happening? And but so that was a pure whirlwind. That was just, but like you were saying, it was like experience, just chatting to some like older businesses, whatever, and things like that, and try to kind of just work on how to talk to people. Do you know what I mean? Because it is a whole different way of navigating conversation and things like that when you're talking to certain individuals.
Try to like present yourself in a certain way, especially with a skateboard company as well, like because people expect it to be one thing, but then you need to treat it a wee bit professional so that people take you serious enough to then collaborate with you or whatever it might be, kind of thing. Or give you the opportunity to have a billboard kind of stuff.
Yeah, and it was even that time we went to go, when we were viewing office spaces, we went to one of them, and the woman who was doing the whole kind of part of that, like showing us about things like that, as soon as we got there, all the emails, fine, totally fine. As soon as we got there, she was kind of like, oh, so what is it you do again? And kind of just taking us as if we were like wee guys, given we were younger at the time, but at the same time, it doesn't matter who you're or what age you're. Do you know what I mean? And so that was quite amazing.
It was kind of as like to look at you as if you're going to be able to afford this and pay rent. And ironically, we ended up finding a better office. It was more expensive.
Exactly, and a better location as well.
Exactly. So then, it worked out better. But the office was like the first kind of thing to make it feel like, oh man, we're right in about this now, and we're going there every day. Because again, like you say, it was up at Charing Cross. We used to cycle in. I feel like Bumullock, wasn't it? And then
we used to walk.
Because then you would end up getting the bus to, I don't know, Central, probably Central, right?
I think it was Bath Street.
Bath Street, and then walk up to Charing Cross. But bus by the time you can go there.
That was the thing, we'd done that. We walked for like about 6 months from Bath Street away up to the end of Charing Cross, and then for like maybe the last 2 months that we had the office, we realised that you could get a bus straight from where we got off at Bath Street all the way outside to the office door. Could not believe it, man. We were just absolutely baffled by it. We were like, oh wow, that is ridiculous. And then so we done that, and then that's when we switched to the bikes, because it was just after, I think we were just scunnered with buses.
Cycle through, saves cash as well as you can just go straight there, man.
Aye, definitely.
But during the kind of office era, that's where we'd go. Started the team, and then took on a few, like we sponsored artists at a couple of points as well, because we would, just because it's within the culture. So if we'd done that, then it helped them with their music and stuff, but then it meant that we could use tunes for skate edits. So then, because obviously loads of stuff's copyrighted and that, so it's kind of solid to like find something that's good to use, and isn't like old stock audio kind of thing.
That's it was a good bit of promotion back between each other as well. Do you know what I mean? So if they were having events or gigs and stuff like that, then we could get like a wee merch store, like banners up there, and then vice versa.
Essentially, we were getting them products for beats and tunes, so then it kind of worked out quite well. But then, did we get boards at this point in the office? Was that the first, or was that?
Well, I think it was near the end of the office. We had got maybe like a small run of boards that we. It's mad. So when we were looking for board manufacturers at the time, no matter who in the industry or out with the industry you were to ask, no one really wanted to show you their cards, which again is fair enough. Do you know what I mean? If it's just, literally, so no one gave you really much information. So that was like a whole
killer.
It's just another whole path to navigate as well, try to figure it. And
you get it because we're competition, so and
that's understandable
in their eyes. But
so then I think it was like we had got a small run of blanks, and because at that time we were just going through hundreds of different kind of ideas on how to get them printed, XYZ, and one of the first things we were thinking, we had like one of our pals was a car painter, so he used to spray paint motors, and then we were just like, fuck it man, see if we can use stencils in the boards, can you just do it? And then he was like, aye, cool, and then he gave us a colour chart, and it was like BMW black, and just like put like hundreds of mad like actual car colours kind of thing. We're just like, fuck it, use that one with that, XYZ. And it actually turned out mad. I've got a wee clip here actually of that board, like the first board that got ever painted, and
it was like high gloss.
Oh
man,
man,
it was the shiniest board
sparkling.
I've ever seen.
I don't think even that graphic would I get touched at all.
No, the paint was probably like half an inch off the board because it was layered up so well. But
literally, man.
I think that turned out though to be kind of too solid to do long game or batch, because then obviously he's that busy in work anyway. So then it'd be like, oh, I'm going to stay back half an hour painting these skateboards. The boss probably like, what are you talking about?
Literally using all the water paint.
Aye, the good paint, aye. So I guess we've done the boards kind of a wee bit like near the end of the office, like you say.
Yeah,
but
aye.
Even though we had like a couple of testers and that, but
I think even up to that point we managed to get like a good backlog of stock in general though.
Like clothes and accessories and bearings, bolts, that kind of stuff.
Literally.
But that's even with the skate team, so we'd had a few trips on that, and that's essentially how we done it. It was just like we gave them t-shirts and all the rest of it to come out, film edits and get clips and stuff, and if anything, we were just looking at it as a way to like encourage other youngers to continue skateboarding, and like, because know that they wouldn't be without us, but at the same time it's that extra wee push, man, and it's good going out as a full team. Do you know what I mean?
Because that's what I was about to say as well. It's one of those ones where it was like, because we saw a lot of potential in different skaters, even in the younger days and stuff like that. So it's one of those ones where just wanted to give them a wee push, just to be like, right, you could actually do something with this, you know what I mean? Even if it's nobody else further down the line or whatever, just keep smashing it out. And like you were saying, like, even being able to go out with a full team, that was just a good thing. You've got like filmer, photographer, things like that, and then you're just everybody's together hitting spots and stuff, which was good at the time. Do you know what I mean?
Totally, because that's the thing as well, like, because the people that we had on the team, or the first initial one, a few of them ended up going on to other teams and stuff, which is class, because that was kind of the aim, where it's just like, we'll get you so far and then you can move on and go do other things and that. As much as it's still kind of heartbreaking, because you spend a lot of time with these people, like these folk just like filming and having a laugh, and then you end up also become pals as well as like skate teams, blah blah blah. But by long game, it was class that happened, because at the same time it means it's up to them what they want to do with their skateboarding. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. And if it gets them to a further point than they would have got before, then that's the aim.
Class, that's it. Because I think that's what we've kind of learned with the skate team stuff in general. Like through the years, like doing it old school, or like old school in terms of like any footage you get goes to, like, it's towards an edit that we're doing, and then like we expect the skaters to like die hard support, as in like talk to other people about Fakie and all the rest of it, kind of like you would see the majority of other kind of teams. But it's hard, especially when like to stay that committed, because obviously people have the rest of their lives to live through that, either growing up or like just getting jobs or going through just hard times in life and stuff like that. As much as we would always try and support them through that, and vice versa, just to kind of, because that's what we're for, that's the whole point of a team, just to be like support each other on all aspects kind of stuff. But then like I was saying, that's what makes it a wee bit harder when people kind of move on and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's a good buzz to have that in the memories anyway, to have that in history. Do you know what I mean? Like, but that's how nowadays, again with just general social media stuff and that, clips go up constant, man. Like, not many people really need sponsors, but the way it kind of works feels a bit different now. It's just kind of like there's that wee bit of a disconnect with the bigger companies that have teams, but it's just like upload a few posts and then we'll send shit through to you, which is good, because that's what people want. They want their free products to be able to keep skating and not have to cost them and breaking balls and all the rest of it and that. But it's the heart in it. That changes it all, do you know what I mean? So
definitely. It's a bit of a shift in the way people treat the teams and stuff like that as well. And like again, like you were saying, like before, you'd be doing like full day sessions with everybody there, but now it's kind of more like everybody's in their own zone. Going out themselves, getting a clip, uploading them, and that's it kind of thing. And
yeah, I feel like different skaters have different ideas on what they want. As in, some people are just happy to be on the team and get products and all, like yes, but then other people are like, I want to be like doing comps. And then other ones are like, I only want to street skate and don't want to be involved in any competition stuff. But then want to make an edit, but then edits can take a couple of years, so then sometimes you're like, is this person going to stay committed for a couple of years? Because at the same time, life can battle you a bit.
Yeah.
So as much as you want to be committed, might not always happen in that. But I think even going forward with us, the team stuff, like, still try to figure out the right way of doing it.
Yeah, like that show, the best way of doing it. Really.
It aligns with everybody as well as us, but then still has that heart behind it. Without it being
just so disconnected.
It's a corporate feeling where it's just like, do a trick, send a product. And it's just
not that's not kind of who we are either. Do you know what I mean?
That's not how we see the scene, or see skateboarding in general. Kind of thing.
So even that's the thing. Even over the next year, you'll probably see that evolve. And the decisions that we make to be able to push that kind of
make that a thing still. But so then during the office we'd done the kind of skate team stuff.
Yeah.
We might not put in some of the clips and photos and that for the old teams or just the generation of team.
Yeah.
Just in case they don't want to be a part of it, because again, like I was saying, people move on, skate for other companies, they don't want to be associated with your company.
Yeah.
Totally understandable, because that's business, I guess, as well. But we do have a whole bunch of stuff, so then
we can show you some clips of the back of the head skating.
But that was good though. That was a class like era for us in terms of like the team stuff, because it was us still trying to figure it out, and then the skaters trying to figure themselves out, and just us having a laugh at it all together, isn't it? But
I think even so, then after that, at the end of the office, we kind of like we still had the office things like that, but then we were looking at different options shop wise, trying to figure out.
There was the event before that.
The event before that, the St. Luke's. So it was that was probably one of our first big event, wasn't it? Definitely. Even that, so that was a mad one. St. Luke's was like, I think because we were in the office, we were trying to figure out the best thing to get everybody together, because we knew there was a lot of people that were in the scene but didn't know each other as well, and just like the kind of the levels that we could actually do and work with. Do you know what I mean? Because like since Kirky Skate Jam, that was before the office, so within the couple of years that we were in the office, we had learned a lot as well. And then we were actually looking for venues at that time, and then we found St. Luke's, which is an old converted church, which turned out a Granda was in there like years ago as well, which is an absolute mad one. So we done that, and because they had their floorboards were original floorboards from way back in the day, so there was like a lot of hurdles trying to figure out how we're going to skate in there, and we had to then silver tongue it to actually get them to agree for us to actually skate in there.
I still can't believe they let it happen.
Honestly,
I feel like they probably wouldn't let it happen again.
Yeah.
But the only reason we could pull it off is to say we already done it. His videos, it went well, he's enjoyed it. He's liked it.
He's made some money and all that, well, nothing get broke. So we managed to just get like big massive sheets of chipboard essentially, and we flung them down, but it was hard because you couldn't nail anything in the ground to keep them all together. We had to just duct tape them all together, so we literally spent about a good 40 minutes at the start of the event just like one at one end holding the tape, just running down, just like just trying to big massive like lines of duct tape to keep them all together. But
it done the job, right enough.
It did 100%. And then we had like a bank up beside the stage, and we managed to actually even let them agree. The guys who run St. Luke's, we managed to get them to agree to let us skate off of the stage and onto the stage, which is pretty wild as well. But so we had like a couple of banks, ledges, things like that. But then it started getting gnarly because it got to like near like the last like hour or two, and then it was just like skaters were just putting ledges and toping other ledges and just like making mad obstacles, which again we're all for anyway, do you know what I mean? But I'm pretty sure there's one that was like, I can't remember, I think it was Martin. He literally put a big ledge on top of another ledge, and then he went to skate it. He got halfway on, I think it was like 50 or something on both sides, halfway on it, then the whole ledge just went boom, just straight off the top, and we were just like, right,
That's the thing. They wouldn't realise that we were already like on thin ice.
Absolute pushing
go ahead. That's an example of we'd have a skate team there, so they're running about helping us set everything up, and then we'd have sponsored artists. We had Tony Smokes was there. He was there DJing, and then a couple of different rappers and that, just hitting out with tunes. So it was like
kind of like sets and all that as well. So we tried to do that as like a big, like you were saying before, like we included the artists and stuff as like, because that's part of the culture, like just like music in general. So then we were trying to like kind of hit every box we could. So then it was just like, if you paid for a ticket, you came through, you got to see some tunes for local artists, catch a few sets, see people skating, see the local talent, and then we even had stalls at the top as well for different artists, even like Ali.
Ali Smalls.
So he does a lot of art, and he had a stall there, and he's a skateboarder himself as well. So we're trying to just kind of keep it in the whole community.
There's Del Boy and all tattoos.
Big Del Boy. That was actually, where is it? Where's your one? There's my one there. G21K. We got that for that event. That was
right enough.
We've actually got a couple of promo videos.
Everybody, we're doing it Electric Arts today with Del Boy getting some tattoos. We're picking up the boards as well. It's going to be one of the competition prizes on the night. Hand painted by Del Boy himself. You'll be able to pick that up on the night if you win. Del's going to have some prints on the night as well.
Prints on the night. Banging. Absolutely banging.
Del's going to have so much stuff that you can have a look, check out. You can get some mad tattoo.
The rest of the stuff's going to be confirmed for the skate competition. Everyone will be confirmed at the start of November. Tickets are £5. Catch me on Ticket Scotland or any one of the Fakie family.
But I think the killer with that is that we put the stalls upstairs in the kind of arena seating bit, because we thought that's cool because it gives them more space, and then we can direct people up to them and that. But I think there was so much to look at when you walked in. People didn't even think about going upstairs. And that. It's the one thing like we changed going forward with events and that, is that kind of setup is like we'll just put the stalls in amongst everything.
Just keep it the full one flare.
So then it's just all on the one go kind of thing.
But that did turn out good though, even just that whole event turned out.
There's a mix of skaters there as well as some like younger skaters as well, and then again other skaters teaching the youngers how to skate and all that kind of stuff. It was such a cool mix, man.
It's even mad because we've got a couple of pictures and that. I think it was Bailey. Captain Pinger, he came top 3 or something like that, or like he won. He was definitely one of the winners anyway, because we've got the pictures that we got with all the winners, and it's mad being like that was like one of the kind of first times we'd met Bailey. And then it's just like you'd see him doing mad stuff all the time, and it's class. Just I mean, he always turns up at every event that we put on, and he always supports, man, which is class. Like.
Again, you get a few skaters like that just go to everything, man. Just don't miss it, which is class. Because then it's just nice when you hold an event, because you're always just like, is anybody going to turn up? So even just a few of the familiar faces, you're just like, fuck it. It's all yours anyway, so we'll enjoy it.
We'll just have a laugh.
Anything else is bonus kind of thing.
Definitely.
But
we actually even had like that same event. We had a Scottish TV channel. I think it was like That's TV.
I think it's That's TV.
And then they had came through and done like a whole chat. That was a mad one, because that like we're fresh at the packet back then.
Is that going to be a new part? I'm going to start using it. It's like, yeah, man, that's fresh at the packet.
So that was a wild one. Even seeing us at that point, we get an interview with somebody, and it was wild because I had like the big massive TV cameras and stuff like that.
I was sweating a wee bit at the time, man.
Honestly, man. You've got your big beard and all that. I know, like short hair and everything. Wild, man. That was cool, man. I think we've got that somewhere. So
The converted church of St Luke's was transformed into an indoor skate park for Fakie's first ever Glasgow showcase and skateboard competition. Fakie is an independent skateboard lifestyle brand with the aim to shine light on Scottish skateboarding and undiscovered talent from various street cultures. Throughout the night there was also stalls around the venue showcasing local creatives and music from local artists.
It's an old converted church and we're turning it into a skate park for the night. Yeah. We've got acts on from right from doors all the way till 1 o'clock in the morning. We've got so much happening, we've got loads of prizes to give away for the competition winners. We're going to have an under 16s, then an over 16s. This is just something that not many people do. The Fakie SB skate team will be doing a big demonstration. So they'll be doing a showcase as well as, because a lot of people see the videos on YouTube from the different edits that we've put up, so this is a chance for people to see them in person. As well, we'll have our music sponsors, so we sponsor all the different Glasgow talent, and they'll be on just kind of doing their thing, showing what they've got.
Skateboarding in Scotland can prove to be difficult as there is little area available to practice the sport. As well as this, there is also weather-dependent circumstances, and coming into the winter months makes it very difficult to board on the streets. The brothers wanted an event that welcomed everyone to the one place to celebrate the sport.
Well, previously we've held a skateboard competition, 1 or 2, and then even small kind of underground gigs. But this was just putting everything we've got in the company all in the one night, so then when people come through, they're just like, right, so this is Fakie, do you know what I mean? Just seeing everything that we do and putting in the room. Try to give people a feel for the brand, do you know what I mean? And put faces to the brand as well, because again, you get so many big companies, you just like hear through email, but this is a chance for everybody to come meet us, see how mental the team is, and actually hopefully... With our videos online and things like that as well, we get so many people stopping and wondering like, oh, who are you guys, blah blah, and even online, everybody they want to be out seeing the skating, so we've just made that kind of platform so that everybody can come, like what Paul was saying, kind of meet the team and just see what we do out in the streets, but in an old renovated church. So skateboarding as a sport, it's not even a recognised sport in Scotland, so that is even the kind of push. That's what we want to try and do, is kind of bring light to skateboarding in Scotland and showing that we've got all these amazingly talented people, but we don't even have the parks to facilitate these people, so they're just kind of going out in the streets, and that's why a lot of skaters get a bad name, because they don't have anywhere to do their thing. So when they do it in the streets, people get like, why, do you know what I mean? It's like a bike on a pavement or something like that. So the amount of grief that you get in general is kind of, it happens, but it happens with everything. Even by doing an event like this, we can show people that there can be events like this, do you know what I mean? And we can have loads of skate events, there's no reason why not. So us doing this is like, people can walk in and be like, here, this is doable, like, we can do this all the time if we want. And even the main push as well, even for like, kind of next year, coming years, to get an actual skate park in town built, rather than all of our skaters having to go over, travel distance to kind of have a couple of hours skate. So that's a kind of another goal as well, to push the scene and kind of bring the community together.
The event was available to everyone with any age able to take part, learn about skating, and was all about encouraging people to take part and try the sport.
This is going to lead to even hopefully an annual one, or even every 6 months we get to have a big party like this and bring all the different generations together. So again, you've got Shug, is like any Scotties, he's skating, there's like so, and then you've got the guys that are like 17 skating, so it's good getting everybody mixing in the sport. This is just the start, you know what I mean? So if we kind of do this, boost everything off, just kind of get everybody actually learning how the skate scene works rather than just kind of blotting it out and even want to be a part of it.
This is only the beginning for the Fakie brand, showcasing skateboarding talent in Glasgow, with plans to keep promoting skating as a sport and providing a place for people to skate during any season. They hope to return year after year. Rhiannon Melrose, That's TV.
I think that was just a good excuse for not to say to like our mum and our grand and that being like, yeah, we made it on the telly by the way, so we're doing well in that. And I'm like,
definitely. That was a pure mad time.
Because even with the ramps, actually, just the last wee bit on that, like we'd arranged ramps for my company that we won't mention, and everything was sounding good to go, and then literally like
the week before.
The week before the event, because we'd been planning this for like 2 or 3 months. Because there was so much. We were running about with radios and earpieces and that in, like pure. As if it was like this pure festival we're having, man. I can even hear all the time.
I know,
Because of the tunes, aye. So
and even
anytime I'd hear like static, I'm like, oh, Mark must be trying to talk to us, and then run down and find you anyway.
It was so funny, man. But with the ramps and stuff like that.
Aye. So the week before, Ramp Company pulled it because they were just like, because we'd worked out a lot of deal with them.
Yeah.
As again you do with business anyway, and again like we're doing stuff for the community, I know, do you know what I mean? So we're not in it to rinse dough. So we'd worked out a deal with them, and then they were just like, oh, didn't realise you were selling tickets to the event, and we're like, aye, well,
Venue costs.
the venue costs absolutely mental. So then that was it. We'd made no profit at that. We never like all the money that for the tickets on the door went straight to the venue hire.
Yeah.
And they spat the dummy it, and they were just like, oh well, since you're doing that, then we can't provide anything in the middle.
It wasn't even that. It was like they were just like, oh, since you're doing that, we're going to add. It was like 5-6 ton.
Aye,
on top
for
of the
hire.
price for like hire on the ramps, kind of thing,
Which
was
I know he does, because then at the same time, again, we're still like no backing. We don't get funding or any of that kind of stuff. So especially at that point, we were in the office and we hadn't had boards yet, essentially. So then like we were running thin on cash. So then, with them adding on that like huge fee, it then meant that we would have to put up the ticket price, and we were just like, no, because like I can't even mind how much it was, but we'd done it just enough to cover the venue max, and then that way it kept it affordable for people to actually turn up and go. Because we hate, again, it's classic, like you'll know what it's like yourself if you've been to some events and that, but see when you go to something that's crazy money just to get in the door, that already
details you.
You're kind of just like, well, it's free to skate outside, so I'm not going to spend 30-40 quid on going in for the pleasure of skating or whatever. But aye, so that happened, and then there was like a saviour.
That's it. Aye, literally, the saviour's just like an OG. Again, we won't mention names just in case they don't want to be mentioned. But one of the OGs that have been about the scene for years. We got in touch with him, and he was just like, as soon as we told him like everything that was happening, he was just like, "Hi boys, no bother, I've got you." And then we went up to his unit, and he was just like, "So I've got this bank here, I've got this manual pad, I've got this ledge, this, that, blah blah, just take it." And we're like, we kind of get took back by it. Do you know what I mean? Because again, you don't often get a lot of help when you're doing something that you're doing, because usually it's either tickets competition or people want to be doing the same thing or whatever. So then it's that way getting that kind of feedback was class. It was wild, man. It was a proper saviour, because again,
that's OG attitude as well.
Exactly.
Where it's just like, no, I can see what yous are doing, why yous are doing it. It's not for personal gain or nothing. So like, I'm going to help you out because I've got to there and I'm able to. So like, ever since that as well, like, he was on top of the list for me, man. We'll be there if he ever needs us as well for that return in it.
Definitely, man, definitely. Always open for that, do you know what I mean? Because again, that's what it's all about as well, do you know what I mean? You need to help each other, man, because you do that and everybody prospers that way.
And the thing is with events and that in general, like, something always goes wrong. Something always goes right that you don't expect, and I think it's just trying to do the quickest turnaround as possible. Like, we're just like, right, fuck it, we'll deal with it and just get it done. But overall, but the whole thing was class. It was good fun, man.
Definitely. It was such a good laugh, and it was just my, like you were saying, even the whole part of us running a bit of radios and like try to track to each other, being like, oh, this is happening. Like, it was a lot, but it was amazing. I remember even after the event, for like a good 3 days, we were just like, I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting in a room and I'll stare at a wall have a bit of peace kind of thing, because there was so much on the run up, and then that day itself was wild.
Because it's one of the ones as well, you're having like a million social interactions, so see after it, like processing all that and downloading it all, being like, I heard such and such was saying hanging that, and it's like, oh, then I bumped into XYZ and that, and you're like, oh, that's mad. That carry on, man. You're just sitting there, just again, all these different personalities and everybody just buzzing about the event and different things and that. So it was so much to download afterwards, but it was good to get peace right enough.
Just chill for a minute. It was a mad one, actually. The head security for that night, we ended up chatting away to her, and she then done security for our future events further down the line, which is mad. So just like things like that, do you know what I mean? Sometimes there'll be things that you don't realise will happen, or like the connections you'll make out of certain situations, and that's why it's best just to run with it and see what happens, do you know what I mean? Because there's always bonuses to everything that you do. There's always like a silver lining as well, do you know what I mean?
That's the thing as well, the ramps that we did pick up off the OG, we ended up, we had to store them in the office.
Yeah.
So I think there might be some clips of that, but then maybe no, because I think we were so bust. Because the office was, what, 4 or 5 flights up?
Yeah.
So then we were trying to navigate these and it was a shared landing kind of thing. Like each floor had like 4 or 5 businesses. So on ours was like a masseuse, a music instructor,
a
therapist, and like blah blah blah. So then we were walking in with ramps, being like, all right.
Not even walking in with them. Like,
no, dragging them, man.
Proper like. But that was a mad one. And then I remember it was wild, but because in the office there was no floor space left. Everything was on top of each other, and then at the same time, like after them sitting there for a couple of days, the whole office just smelled like wood. And just pure like dust and everything else. They were just sat in there for a good bit, man. It was mad, like. But I'm pretty sure we actually then took them on further and used them again.
Oh, like right enough.
There was a bank and a quarter that we took and put that into our next venture.
Next place.